again, everybody, and welcome to another Family Ties production of Western Big Six basketball. This is Jim Smith along with Coach Jim Sanders, bringing you the ball game tonight from the Panther Den over at United Township High School. Big game tonight in the conference for the Panthers and the Maroons. Both teams come in 0-1, and it's a must game, which is kind of unusual, Coach, for such an early ball game.
Well, it is. Last weekend, UT, of course, had a tough ball game here with Galesburg. Got real ragged at times. I'm sure both coaches were real disappointed in that. Moline had a tale of two halves, huh?
Right.
In that ball game. But
I talked to Coach Dexter before the game. He said they did some things so well and just couldn't sustain what they'd practiced against. So I talked to him, and he said they'd have a good week of practice this week, and they got their preparations in, and hopefully they're going to play a little more together than the last time I saw them. I saw them play against Richwoods, and we talked about that game a little bit. And Coach Dexter agreed that Richwoods in that game was in mid-season form, and Moline had to have conversely had a tough week of practice because of the girls' tournament threw their practice schedule off, and they got kicked out of the gym for they didn't get only about half the practice time that they had counted on getting in that week, and so it just never really got started against Richwoods. But against Rock Island, they showed flashes of what we thought they could do this year. They got a veteran team coming back. They got a lot of starters, a lot of guys that played last year. So Moline's a force to be reckoned with. But to get back to the big game aspect, you know, it's unusual that this is the second conference game, and we're talking about it being a must game for both teams coming in 0-1.
Right.
When you got Rock Island and Quincy in the conference, you can't afford more than maybe one loss.
Well, you can, and the other aspect of that, Coach, is that both of them lost on their home court. And in this league, you got to win your home games. UT's about a must-win situation. You don't want to go 0-2 at home to open your season. So a tough game ahead for both teams. Taking a quick look at the Panthers, you mentioned they are 2-2 and 0-1 in the conference. Some things that I picked up through looking at the stats a while ago. I think Nick Ramos, who's obviously a key to the game for UT as I see it. Nick last week had an off game offensively, but led the Panthers with 11 steals last week. Did a tremendous job there. UT last week was 0 for 10 from the three-point line. The other games they were 10 for 38, so you know they're capable of making that shot, but 0 for 10 last week. UT had over 25 turnovers in the game. Bad news. Good news is they forced Galesburg into about 30-plus turnovers. Right. And UT shot only 30% from the field. So I think for UT the keys are going to be rebounding. I think it's going to be they're going to have to really attack when they have the ball, and they're going to have to hit some three-point shots. I don't think there's any way they're going to beat Moline consistently from the inside.
Well, I know to talk statistics, also Moline's been out-rebounded this year, which is unusual because they've got two real good rebounders in there, and Anders and Dorian Earl starting tonight. That gives them some bulk in there. And Travis Wilson, who plays the guard spot most of the time, is their second leading rebounder on the season. So Coach Dexter, as I talked to him before the game here, was putting a real premium on hitting the boards hard and not letting UT run off with all the rebounds, and which conversely UT has out-rebounded their opponents for no bigger a team than they are. Mark Polite being the big man in there, only 6'4", and the next biggest man is 6'2", so Ben Fagerlund. So it's going to come down to who controls the boards, how Moline handles the press, because I know Coach Olson, UT feels that they have to press to stay in any ball game to use their quickness and to make up for the size differential that they're going to give away every time they play somebody.
You bet. But I think too, you know, we talk a little bit. I talked to some Rocky fans the other night after, and you know, kind of reviewing the Western Big Six last week. Big win by Alleman over Quincy over at Don Morris Gym, and of course the tale of two halves I mentioned before. But the thing that surprised me talking to the Rocky fans is the fact that when Moline was doing their best, they were running the ball up and down the floor. They weren't looking for a game in the 40s. They basically, at least for a half, did to Rock Island what Rock Island's been able to do to everybody else for years. So that's kind of looking forward to seeing that aspect of Moline. Maybe we'll have a ball game where you know, the two teams are scoring in the 60s tonight, something like that.
Well, I was going to say, with the pressure that UT is going to put on, I'm sure that'll force a little bit of an up-tempo game just by the nature of pressing defense does that too anyway. So, so it should be an exciting ball game. We're looking forward to it. It's kind of kind of a nasty night here. It's a Friday night game, and we got that big cold front rolling through here, so the crowd's going to be down, but the people here are going to be enthusiastic, and I'm sure they're going to see a good game. So why don't we wrap this right now, and we'll be right back with the starting lineups and bring you more Western Big Six basketball. Another Family Ties production of Western Big Six basketball. Here we go with the starting lineups tonight. Moline Maroons versus United Township High School Panthers. This is Jim Smith along with Jim Sanders bringing you the broadcast tonight. We'll have the starting lineups here momentarily.
Now we're doing right now is giving all that sportsmanship, that explanation of being a good sport, and sportsmanship's important, and then the first time that referee blows the whistle, it's all forgotten.
Yeah.
It's all over.
I still think it's important that you get it out over the airwaves,
Yeah.
Coach.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, we're ready.
Here we go.
In alternating fashion, beginning with the Moline High School Maroons.
First of all, for the Moline Maroons, starting at center, number 22, 6'5" senior, Pete Anders. Anders averaging 7.6 points per game.
For UT, number 15, Mike Crawford, a 6'1", senior, averaging 6.8 points per game.
For the Maroons at guard, number 30, 5'6" senior, fine football player, Andy Malcolm, bringing his 4 points average to the court.
Number 25 for UT is Nick Ramos, 6' senior, averaging 11.3 points a game.
At a forward spot for the Maroons, a 6'4" junior, Dorian Earl gets a start tonight. Third leading rebounder on the squad for the Maroons.
Well, they're going to have to rebound, that's for sure.
Darn right.
UT gets Sean Taylor back in that starting lineup after being out with an illness. 6'1", senior, averaging only 3 points a game, but he'll get more than that tonight.
Fine athlete.
Junior, Nick DeVilder.
At another forward spot, a 6'5" junior, 3-year varsity performer as a junior, Nick DeVilder.
For UT, number 42 is Ben Fagerland, a 6'2" junior, averaging 4.3 points per game.
Sophomore, Travis Wilson.
And finally for the Maroons, of the other guard spot, Travis Wilson, sophomore, second leading rebounder, averaging 14 points a game.
Wow, and for UT, number 40, Mark Polite, 6'5" senior, averaging 21.5 points per game.
Well, we've got the starting lineup set. We'll take a little break here and pause for the national anthem. Our students, you come over to UT and they always have some of their fine arts students, some of their singers doing the national anthem over here, and that's always a nice touch for a ball
Very
game.
nice. Melody Mills and Joy Gant doing the national anthem
Very
tonight.
nice, very nice job.
Coach, I thought it went blind there for just a split second. They turned the lights out
Shut
around
those
here.
house lights down. Boy, the scorebook went away.
But
Well, here we
got
go.
our lights on now. And we'll start sweating in just a minute here. Big ball game tonight. Moline Maroons, UT Panthers. Somebody's going to come out of this at 1-1 and be in a lot better shape as far as the conference is concerned.
Yeah, if you stop to think about all the pressure that's going to be applied on the court, as well as physically, as well as mentally,
You
it's
bet.
a huge game.
Well, UT has got Crawford, Ramos, Taylor, Polite, and Fagerlund. Starting lineup with Polite jumping center.
Here we go. Anders for the Maroons. Tips up. Maroons control. Travis Wilson with the ball.
Nice trap defense that time by
Andy
UT.
Malcolm, top of the key.
Panthers
Down
in a
low.
man-to-man.
Anders turnaround jumper short, gets bothered.
Taylor on the run. Oh, UT filled the lanes up real nice that time, Coach. And now they'll set the offense.
Moline, they're going to play man-to-man. Both coaches like man-to-man defense.
Oh, good hustle by Fagerlund to save that ball. Went about 2 rows up in the bleachers that time. Polite for 3. Mark Polite for UT, 3-0.
Nice touch for a guy that's supposed to play down in the paint. Well,
Coach, he can play anywhere on my ball club, I'll
Nick
tell you
DeVilder
that.
bringing it up against Sean Taylor. Over to Malcolm on the wing, drives to the baseline.
Tough man-to-man by the Panthers.
Anders jumps out, down inside to Earl. They collapse on him. Anders, 18-footer, count it. The Maroons are going to pick up now. Three-quarter court.
UT's going with a little bigger lineup this time, really going without a point guard. Crawford, Ramos, one of those two will take over that job. Inside to Ben Fagerlund.
Try to drop it down to Polite. Loses the handle. We get it quickly out to Wilson. He brings it to the center.
Oh, there's
Ramos with a steal.
Another steal. Ramos on the drive. Won't fall.
DeVilder.
Man,
Ramos
Ramos
picks
is
his
quick,
pockets.
Coach.
Malcolm ahead to Anders. Goes for the drive. Lays it up and in. Count it. And I believe that foul is going to go against Sean Taylor.
UT just a little slow that time getting back on defense, and Moline was on the run, and that's evidently what they did last week against Rock Island.
Push that ball up the floor good, very well that time. Anders got out, and then Malcolm found him. Well, Anders goes to the line to shoot one, try to complete that three-point play, and he does. Pete Anders got all the Moline points, 5-3 here in the early going.
Now, there's a call, Coach, that's going to make a big difference in this ball game. If the officials, and that was a foul, there's absolutely no question about that, the pressure defenses, if they let you bang and push and that kind of stuff, there'll be a lot of turnovers in this ball game.
Yeah, that was a blocking call on Travis Wilson. Trying to pressure the ball here.
UT showing nice patience. Ahead to Taylor. Got caught up in the air, no place to go.
Looks like it's going to go to the Panthers. Well, the Maroons are really hitting the boards early here. I think Coach Dexter is really, as he talked before the game, rebound's going to be critical in this game, and he knows the Panthers can hit the boards hard, so he's got the Maroons crashing.
Taylor
so far, they've had two guys at the ball every time.
That's right. Did a nice job so far, and good defense. Rough play inside in there. Ramos got hit on the arm. No foul.
Dorian Earl rips down the board. Quickly to Malcolm. Maroons going to push it up.
Good quickness. Malcolm's got the good quickness. Oh, nice play by Moline.
Fielder down to Anders. Oh, down and out, wouldn't go. Fagerlund with the rebound.
5-3 Moline. 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the first quarter here at the Panther Den.
Both teams getting pretty good shots here, Coach.
Really are. On the offense, showing a lot of patience.
Maroons sticking with their man-to-man.
UT got to get reset here a little bit. Coach Olson looks a little upset with the pattern being run right now.
I was going to say, didn't execute that very well or something.
That last series especially, the ball was always on the opposite side of where the postman was at. We were posting up, and the ball's clear over on this side. And there's a good pass. And here comes Polite. That's where they want it. Nice quick hands that time by Moline.
On the floor, ball's loose.
Rolling around
Malcolm
on the floor.
gets it to Anders. Comes to Vilder, pushing it up the far side. Looking inside, quick hands by Crawford, flicks it out of bounds. Maroons ball. Hill inbounds right in front of the Panther bench.
Both teams right now defensively are playing much better than they are offensively. The defenses are winning right now.
I was going to say the defenses are affecting that
tenacious defense on with both teams.
And they play good fundamental defense too.
They do.
It's not gimmicky stuff. Earl at the top of the key,
nice
finds
pass.
Wilson, ball fake, down low to Anders on the blocks, comes across the lane.
You give him the ball in there very much, Coach, and it's going to be a long night for UT. Great ball movement that time.
And it continues to be Pete Anders 7 and the Panthers 3.
Well, it's Anders 7 and Polite 3.
Polite 3.
Well, I think the fans watching this are going to in for a treat. This is going to be a great game. Oh, 2 men on Polite real quick. Ramos for 3. Yes!
Count it. Downtown. That pulls the Panthers within 1. Pete Anders comes right back.
Look, Anders may have a career game here tonight, Coach.
Well, he's had a career quarter.
Man alive.
9-point first quarter, and we're only halfway through it.
Moline going to set up at the half court this time. A little different. Both teams playing man-to-man, but UT is pressuring out all over the floor, seems like. Moline kind of identifying the shooters and trying to get out on those that they feel are going to hurt them from the perimeter.
Ramos on the dribble.
Polite breaks into the middle of the lane there. Crawford with
Maroon's
the ball.
doing a good job of helping.
Nice defense.
They're doing a good job of helping. They're sagging off in the lane.
You know, it's one thing, Coach, at least I have. We got UT's first sub coming in, but we're deep in the first quarter, and the starting lineups are still out there. We saw some of the teams early in the year going 6, 7, 8 guys in the first 3
by
or
this
4
time
minutes.
in the game, there'd be 3 or 4 subs.
Coach Crawford for 3. Oh, from
Mike
the top
Crawford.
of the key.
Well, that ties the ball game up. 3 minutes remain here, first quarter, 9-9. Kind of ball game we expected. Good defense, good pressure defense. Both teams being patient. Both teams getting good shots.
Crawford's doing a nice job defensively out there. That's impressive.
Taylor on DeVilder.
Great defense there. UT on the run. Polite. Oh.
Quick hands, Andy Malcolm. Polite was just getting ready to screen Malcolm off from the ball with his body, and then Malcolm reached in there and flicked that ball out of bounds.
Especially good with Polite being left-handed. He was going to the side he wants to go. Courtney Lewis, number 44, checks in for Ben Fagerlund for the Panthers. That's the first sub of the evening here with 2 minutes 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. 9-9 tie. Polite for 3.
Up and over.
Up and hits over up top of the supports back there, and it'll be
Maroons will inbounds under the basket.
Well, we talked about UT being 0 for 10 on threes, but they're sure not afraid to put that ball up from that distance.
They're getting good looks at it. And
real good looks.
I'm sure Coach Olson's encouraged them to go ahead and shoot those if they got it.
Well, if you don't in this league, they'll pack you up so tight inside.
Right.
We're not big enough to get away with that. Oh, nice. Oh, great effort.
Down to Anders. Crawford about picked his pocket. Malcolm drives across the lane,
Nice
shoots it down to
pass.
Earl. Ball fake, up and in. Count it. Nice job, Andy Malcolm to Dorian Earl.
Malcolm made that play, huh, Coach?
Good ball handling.
Cody Duran getting ready to check in for UT. Moline staying with the same lineup. UT now, they got Ramos, Taylor, Crawford, Polite, and Courtney Lewis.
Maroons still with their starters.
Nice drive.
Taylor drive, puts it up.
Nice shot. That's a tough shot, Sean Taylor.
11-11, minute 30 remain, first quarter. Again, DeVilder and Taylor battling. That's going to be a good one to watch as the game goes on.
Be. And Crawford Malcolm when Malcolm's got the ball.
Malcolm down to Anders, turns and looks. No good.
Nice
DeVilder
rebound.
right back up. Good weak side position on the rebound. Panthers had nobody home. DeVilder put it up nicely and in.
Moline broke UT down that time and didn't have UT had nobody left on that backside board.
Moline's getting the ball down inside very easily so far.
Right now. Ramos for 3. Big rebound by Moline.
Big Pete Anders.
Woo. Power rebound that time.
Leading rebounder for the Maroons this year.
Oh my.
Travis Wilson with a 2.
Looks like they're only going to give him 2 on that one. Kind of hard to see.
It was close. I was looking at the official to see if he had those hands up, but he didn't. So 15-11.
38
4-point
seconds.
lead.
Yep. 38 seconds to go, Coach.
Well, they're going to either run play number 1 or they're going to go for one shot. Or maybe both.
It could be out. Looks like UT's going to try to work the ball into Polite.
Maroons sagging down in the offside guys really coming down in the lane.
Movement. There you go. From the free throw line, Mark Polite.
Nicely executed. 15-13, 10 seconds remain. Panthers picking them up all over the floor. Crawford against Malcolm. Malcolm quickly down.
Oh, tough
Bounce
pass
to
there.
Earl, couldn't handle it. Crawford long. Off the backboard, wouldn't go.
Going to count. It was going to count. Coach, one thing UT does here, they've got the lights that go on here now behind the backboard. The horn.
Yeah, when they changed the scoreboards over here, the horn got muffled severely.
Almost non-existent. It wasn't very good to begin with, and then we put a plastic covering over the scoreboard to stop balls and things from breaking it, and you can't hear that horn at all. So they've installed lights on the back of each basket like they do in the big arenas, and that light goes on. That means time's out. It helps the officials, helps everybody. So we're here at the end of the first quarter. Moline leads 15-13.
Well, that's about the kind of game that we thought we were going to have.
Yep. Now we talked about it being in the 60s, and that's got every opportunity to do that. You mentioned earlier, I think maybe the key is that both teams are getting really good shots right now at the basket. nobody's got any problem getting a decent shot.
And for as intense as the pressure's been, both teams only with one foul, and both those were fairly early. So they're playing good hard defense, but clean.
And agree. And the officials, I think, those are the ones that have been there. I mean, it's not like as if we've got bodies flying all over the place and there has only been one foul. There haven't been many fouls. The rebounds, if the guys had position, they give it up and go play defense. I think that's been real important so far.
Well, Panthers inbound, and we got a chance to see the Panthers tie it up here. They're down 2, beginning of the second quarter.
UT now, Durant is in the ball game. Cody Durant is in for Sean Taylor. So now UT's got Crawford, Ramos, unforced error there, Polite, Courtney Lewis, and Cody Durant.
And we've got Joy Schomburg in there for the Maroons now in place of, looks like Andy Malcolm sitting down. So we got Schomburg, Wilson, Anders, DeVilder, and Dorian Earl in there for the Maroons.
UT going to play a little zone right now.
Looks like it. The Maroons are sorting it out now. Coach Dexter up, giving him a signal. Back to Schomburg, the top of the key, over to DeVilder, skip pass. Wilson to the hole. Polite.
Great block by Polite, but they're going to get a foul on Lewis, I think.
I was going to say, I think the foul's going to be on Lewis, but Polite was up there, said, not today, Travis.
You're not going to get a three-point play out of this thing for sure. And the foul was on number 44, Courtney Lewis. That's his first.
Second team foul. Travis Wilson on the line. First one's up, bounces off, wouldn't go. Wilson with his second.
Ooh,
no,
strong
missed
again.
them both.
Here come the Panthers on the run. Set up the offense.
Maroons sticking with the man-to-man.
Boy, Moline is still doing a nice job of identifying the shooters. They're out on the guys that are a threat outside. They better guard Polite. Good rebound by Moline.
Another good weak side rebound. Schomburg quickly ahead to Travis Wilson.
Better move.
Spin move. Crawford forces him to the baseline. Ball's loose. Crawford has it. Gets it over to Cody Durant.
Nice play.
Nice hustle, Mike Crawford. Coach, the Panthers are going to play hard. I don't care what.
That's right. Ramos on the drive. Won't fall.
Ball's loose.
Comes up with the
Pete
ball.
Anders comes up with it. Joey Schomburg hands it off to Wilson. He's going to walk it up. Skip pass over to DeVilder. Into Anders. He looks around.
They're going to make Moline hit that shot.
Wilson, 14-footer off the rim. Wouldn't go. Tough boards.
Cody
Durant comes out with it.
Durant, Ramos to Polite. Oh, and a foul.
Looks like Pete Anders got a piece of Polite and a piece of the ball.
Excellent ball movement on that 3-on-2 break for
nice
the Panthers.
Nice break. You pointed out earlier, the Panthers filled the lanes very nicely. Here comes Jeremy Corman in the lineup. Mike Crawford's going to get a rest for the Panthers. Ted Terrell's in. Nick DeVilder's going to sit down to take a break, so we got Polite at the line. Shooting a pair.
Shooting two.
Chris Whitaker in there for the Maroons as well. Polite misses that first one.
No, neither team's shooting.
Whitaker's a 6'2" junior. Coach Dexter mentioned he'd see some playing time tonight. Polite gets the second one. Pulls the Panthers within one, 15-14.
Talking to some of the folks after the Moline's game with Rock Island last week, they really kind of mentioned they thought they did run out of gas, especially late in the second half when they were trying to come back after losing the big lead. But and maybe we're seeing this right now. Coach Dexter's going to try to get some minutes to rest for his starters.
Keep the legs fresh for the end of the game. Looks like the Panthers are sitting back in their zone.
Or she knows.
Yeah, maybe they're picking up man-to-man now. Match-up zone, maybe?
That looks match-up to me.
Schomburg over to Wilson. He tries the baseline. Anders sees Terrell, baseline, back out to Schomburg.
Oh, Panthers doing a nice job.
Panthers quick to the ball. Terrell looks at it.
Oh.
Says, okay.
I'm not sure he wanted to shoot that right off the bat, but nobody to pass it to.
Said, I'll just go ahead and put it up then. That's his first two of the night.
Three-quarter court press this time by Moline. Uh-oh, Panthers break it down, and Polite. Nice jump shot.
Very nice job by the Panthers that time.
UT reversed the ball well, hit the open man in the middle, got a 3-on-2 break, and Polite finished.
17-16, 5 minutes remain in the first half. Nice dish down inside Schaumburg.
Tough
Whitaker
pass
couldn't
there.
handle it. Good hands by the Panthers
UT
in there.
again, Corum.
Ball quickly up to Corum.
The UT doing a nice job of recognizing when they've got the break and when they don't.
Good patience.
That's
Both
right.
teams showing good patience, not forcing.
That's right. It's going to be tough for UT to get the ball into Polite inside tonight, I think. He's going to have to get her out there and then maybe take it to the
I was going
basket.
to say, it looks like they've moved the offense up higher and given some backdoor opportunities here, possibly.
Oh, Polite for three. Oh, in and out.
Wouldn't go.
That ball-
Whitaker with the rebound.
Oh, good hustle that time
Jeremy
by Corum.
Corum going for the steal, but picks up his first foul. That's the third team foul on the Panthers. Andy Malcolm in. Joey Schaumburg goes to the bench.
Fagerlund's coming back in for UT. Courtney Lewis is going to sit out. Everybody for UT has had some rest except for Ramos and Polite.
Here's DeVilder back up off the bench. They're going to get him back in. He's going to come in for Whitaker, Chris Whitaker. DeVilder averaging 7.6 points a game.
Does lots of good things. He's been on the offensive board once tonight. Did a nice job with that. Has played on the point some. Played two guard a little bit here.
See what the Maroons have up their sleeves now, trying to break down this zone. Got Anders on the high post. DeVilder from way downtown.
That's one way to break up that zone.
Chalk that one up.
Wow. UT's done a nice job reversing the ball. That stretches the defense quite a bit.
DeVilder can hit those threes.
But UT's going to have to hurry now. There they come.
Biggest lead of the game now for the Maroons.
Good hustle.
Well, it's getting a little ragged here. Getting a little ragged. Ball goes out of bounds off Malcolm. Panthers going to inbounds at the midcourt line.
Crawford and Taylor coming back in for the Panthers. Duran's going to get a rest. Corum's going to get a rest. So UT is now back with their starting lineup.
As are the Maroons.
Three minutes, 46 seconds to go here in the first half. Moline leads 20-16. We may not get to the 60s now, Coach.
No, defense is pretty tough. Panthers running some patterns. Maroons defense is up to the task. Now we're going to get DeVilder with a little bit of hands on him, I do believe. That'll be Nick's first. Third team foul for the Maroons, 3 for the Panthers.
Long way from the bonus right now. Taylor, into Ramos, Polite. Good ball movement. Taylor, tried to get the ball down to Fagerlund, but there comes
lead pass to DeVilder.
Nice
does a nice job of pulling it down and staying in bounds. Malcolm will bring it back out and we'll set up, start over.
That ball can't go in there like
Good
that.
hands, Nick Ramos. Good hands, Nick Ramos.
In there, it can't.
Needs help. There we go. Picked up his dribble.
Oh, Sean Taylor.
I think he wanted to shoot that all at the same time.
There's going to be a foul in there.
There's got somebody on the foul. It's either going to be Travis Wilson or Pete Anders. Let's see who the call goes on. They're both
out of bounds, Coach, so it's not going to be a shooting foul.
Looks like Travis Wilson. Not a shooting foul. That's a fourth team foul on the Maroons.
Inside of 3 minutes now, 20-16, Moline leads. UT has to use a timeout on an out-of-bounds play.
Why don't we take a quick break here and we'll be right back with the remainder of the first half action. 2 minutes 56 seconds remain. 20-16 Maroons. Well, welcome back, fans of the Panther Den. 20-16, the Maroons ahead here as we finish up the first half. 2 minutes 56 seconds remain. Jim Smith along with Jim Sanders bringing into the action tonight. Another Family Ties production on Cox Cable.
U.T. in that last series had to use a timeout because of Moline's great defense on that inbounds play. They got the ball inbounds, and now are trying to run some offense. Fagerlund up high.
Boy, that Moline's really collapsing on Polite. Good hustle.
Nice hustle by Moline.
Turner to DeVilder, get it to Malcolm. Down low to the blocks, back out to Malcolm 3 times, count it.
Big shot.
Andy Malcolm, first points of the game, but big points. Stretches that lead to 7 now, 23-16, just over 2 minutes.
Here come the Panthers. They need to answer back here right before half. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Ramos for 3. Oh, great rebound. Polite. Oh, the ball will not go.
Boy, a huge rebound by Mark Polite there. He was way above everybody.
Coach, everybody went up all at the same level, and all of a sudden, everybody else except for Polite stopped, and he kept going up by another foot.
Everybody went down, and he was still going up.
You can talk about some of your great jumpers and some of that vertical stuff, but I'll tell you what, he can get up as good as anybody I've seen.
That foul was on Andy Malcolm, by the way. That's his first, 5th team foul.
Nice shot.
Polite pulls the Panthers to within 6, 23-17.
Well, Polite's averaging 21.5 points a game overall for the season and 23 points in the Western Big Six.
Gets them both.
He's the go-to guy, that's for sure. But Moline's doing I think a good job of denying him the ball. And when he does get it, like you said last time, there were at least 3.
Yeah, he was surrounded. He was surrounded. Maroons worked the ball.
That's
Anders on the blocks.
Anders had that ball in a long time.
Big rebound, Polite quickly out to Ramos.
No, they don't have the numbers this time, Coach. They're going to set it back up. Panthers set up.
Good ball movement.
Crawford might have walked.
Crawford, they're going to get him on a walk. Yep. Move both those feet. Nice move, but you're going to get called on that more times than not.
You just, as quick as these kids are, you just can't hardly ball fake the one way and then get that ball on the floor before you take 2 steps going the other way. It just happens so quick. And like you said, even if it isn't, it's going to get called most of the time.
Gives the appearance of a walk, even if it's not. Yeah, Panthers defense stiffens here.
Nice
Maroons being very patient, though. They're not forcing anything.
Yeah, 5-point Moline lead.
Anders
here.
turn around 15-footer, comes up short.
Here come the Panthers. Sean Taylor. Moline has 4 guys back. Had a 1-on-4 going that time. Fagerlund with the ball. Crawford, long 3-pointer off the front of the rim. Nice
Dorian Earl,
Moline.
big board. Sean Taylor had his sights on that one, and Earl came right in front of him. Malcolm going to...
42 seconds to go here in the first half. Moline leads by 5. 1 shot. Panthers in zone. Let's see if U.T. is going to sit back and let Moline take the last shot, or whether coach is going to change his
25
defense.
seconds remain here. Malcolm just hold the ball on his hip. Panthers are content to let him do it. They'll turn that defensive pressure up here. Coach Dexter shouting out instructions now. Clock's down to 10. Malcolm enters at the free throw line.
Oh, Crawford,
Mike Crawford.
Great play.
Great hands, almost a great save. 6 ticks left.
5 rows up into that student section there. U.T., they got that big crowd here again of students standing and cheering for the Panthers.
Tell you what, they do a great job here at U.T. getting their students into the game.
You bet.
Ted Terrell gets a good look at it, puts it up, ball's loose. Sean Taylor,
shot will not
throw.
count. Wow.
Well, here at the end of the first half, the Maroons lead it 23-18. Why don't we take a quick...
All of us at the Moline Dare program,
To all of you, have a happy holiday season.
make the right choice. Don't drink and drive. DARE is a simple acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It's a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but also on the positive side of life.
DARE helps teach young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police department offer the 17-week DARE program.
Dare to make a difference.
DARE is an acronym for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. It is a drug prevention program that not only focuses on the negative aspects of drugs, but the positive side of life.
DARE teaches young people how to resist peer pressure to take drugs and to resist the pressure to join gangs.
Community schools with their local police or sheriff's department offer a 17-week DARE program to teach kids to say no to drugs and gangs. DARE to make a difference.
Cable Channel 38, Jim Smith along with Jim Sanders back here at the Panther Den, where the Moline Maroons lead 23-18 after a pretty well played first half, Coach Sanders.
Well, it was, and I go back to the keys, I think, for the two teams, rebounding. Both teams, I thought, did a good job of that, played great defense. I mentioned in the pregame I thought UT was going to have to hit some three-point shots if they're going to be competitive, and by golly, they came out and hit several of those. So the scoring in that first half was...
Well, we had the Pete Anders show in the first quarter. He had 9 points in the first quarter. Malcolm hit a 3. Earl hit 2 points in the first quarter. Nick DeVilder had a 2-pointer and a 3-pointer for 5 points. Travis Wilson hit a bucket in the first quarter for 2, and Ted Terrell. So other than Pete Anders, the Maroons have spread it around pretty well. For the Panthers, it's been pretty much Mark Polite. 5 first quarter points, 5 second quarter points, so he's got 10 points at the half out of the 18 for the Panthers. Panthers scoring rounded out by a pair of 3-pointers, one from Mike Crawford, one from Nick Ramos, and Sean Taylor's contributed a bucket for that, makes their 18 points. So as the second half gets underway here, it's going to be interesting to see if the Panthers can pick up the offense and the Maroons can sustain the defensive effort and the patience that they've shown on their offensive end.
Well, the Panthers are going to open here on defense and come back with the same starting lineup that began the ball game. That's Crawford, Ramos, Taylor, Polite, and Fagerlund.
And we'll set the Maroon lineup for you now. Malcolm's going to inbounds over to DeVilder, Pete Anders, Ted Terrell, no, Dorian Earl, excuse me, and Travis Wilson. So both teams with their starting lineups back on the floor. Panthers back in their man-to-man.
And the tempo of that first half would allow both teams, I think, to be strong at the end. Even though you use a lot of energy playing that great defense, it wasn't helter-skelter, and both teams had an opportunity to set the offense. And I think, the kind of conditioning programs we know that Moline and UT have in.
Maroons running a double high post and setting some picks.
Oh, man.
Some down picks. Eric DeVilder pops out from behind one of those picks.
Woo.
Knocks down a 3.
Way downtown.
Way downtown. 26-18, Maroons.
Well, let's see if the Panthers can answer back now. UT went back playing man that time, I think, Coach. If I picked that up right. Fagerlund's going to have to take that shot. Got it partially blocked. Hustling play there. Taylor, Crawford. Looked like he wanted a 3. That's into Taylor. That's a good spot for Taylor in there. Won't go. Taylor again. A foul call. The ball won't go.
Let's see what that foul's on. He's looking at. Couldn't pick up a signal. Looking at Earl.
I think so, Coach.
That'll be his first.
Our fans get a chance to see Illinois games and Iowa games, high school games, and one thing they'll pick up real quick in Iowa, the players still have to raise their hand when they commit the foul. And I tell you, only being involved in the media here for a year and a little bit here, it's still, it sure helps a whole heck of a lot if that kid would raise his hand, and now you're right now on that foul. Helps us for sure. Helps the scorers too.
Darn right it does. Sean Taylor misses the first one and gets his second one. 26-19. Panthers picking him up all over the floor. DeVilder.
Man-to-man for the Panthers. Ramos. Oh.
Ball's on the floor.
That ball. Good play. Crawford. Oh, to Ramos for 2. Nice play by the Panthers on the steal for the easy layup.
Pressure defense picks him up an easy basket. Malcolm on the dribble.
Moline's got to kind of regroup.
Wilson against Ramos.
One-on-one there.
Here comes help.
10 seconds call.
Panther defense. Wilson lost the handle early in his possession there, and he had to dribble it back to the midcourt line, and defense was too tough for him.
Well, Coach Dexter's over there talking to, I think, DeVilder. Everybody kind of left him down there too, and you kind of criticize. Hey, there's 3 points for Polite. And the Panthers are right back in this now. 26-24 Moline with 6:20 to go in the third quarter.
Malcolm quickly ahead to Wilson.
Yeah, they didn't leave him behind that time.
Good
nice
hands
pass
by
and a
Anders.
great
Puts
catch.
up a soft shot. No good. Off the Maroons. Panthers ball. Couldn't tell who hit that one. Could have been any one of 3 guys.
Well, I tell you, unfortunately for the Maroons, that ball bounced off one of their players, but the good news, they had 3 guys on the board there.
Right.
So that's going to loose ball. Tough play that time. Polite gets the pass, turns right into the Moline defender.
Earl kicks it out to Anders, top of the circle. He drives the lane, puts it up, no good.
Boy, Anders started out, he was on fire, and then, the Panthers don't want to do
Sloppy
that.
ball handling by the Panthers.
Both teams right now are just a little out of control, and probably the team that regains that control quickest will be the winner.
2-point game. DeVilder looking inside, nothing there.
Again, very
Back to
good
Malcolm,
defense.
across the top of the key. DeVilder, 3-point man, not this time. Dorian Earl, big rebound. Takes it down to the hole, wouldn't go. Crawford rips it down.
Panthers on the run, long pass, Taylor, and out of bounds. UT might need a timeout here. I don't ever second guess anything. It's just kind of somebody's got to take control. Maybe you can do it without a timeout. I don't know.
Just got to get him settled down.
That's
Here comes
right. Well, maybe the guy put Corum in the ball game, and that may help a little bit. Corum is coming in, and Taylor's going to come out. The idea was good. A nice long pass.
And Sean Taylor, being his football coach, he's got great hands. He was a great receiver. Although we didn't throw it to him very much, but he was our leading receiver.
As often as we could.
Yeah. We got a block on Corum.
It's always a tough call. You get that point guard moving laterally across there. Corum made a great effort.
He jumped out and put on maybe too big of a show.
Well, I think our fans from a camera angle are going to have a great look at that. And I think if we did replay these things, you're going to take a look. I think Corum was moving laterally just a little bit when the contact was made. But a great effort, good hustle.
First team foul for the Panthers. Malcolm setting the action here now. Anders at the high post. Earl down at the low post. Wilson trying to get it into Earl.
Oh, no steal by Ramos.
Another steal. Great hands.
Coach, I don't know what the UT season steal record is, or maybe even what the Western Big Six steal record is, but Ramos continues like this. Well, look out.
Corum down low. Ooh.
Didn't look real good there, but
Coach Olson.
Polite in and out. Ball just won't stay for either team right now.
Quickly to Wilson. He's going to go coast to coast.
That's good. No,
we're going to get a block.
You're going to get a basket. You're going to get a blocking foul on Corum.
Corum doesn't like it. He thought he was there. Had his feet set. It's a big call. In Corum's defense, Wilson made a nice spin move, but he spun right into where Corum was standing, so it was hard to. That's a tough call to make. I'm not
Really
faulting the official.
Call. Nope. It's a tough call. Corum put himself in a good position, gave him the best shot. UT's making a couple substitutions now. Number 23, Jacob Brewster's coming in the ball game, and Courtney Lewis is back in. This is Brewster's first appearance. Corum and Fagerlund will sit down, and Coach Olson is congratulating Corum because he could have very easily just taken 2 charges and been the big hero right now in this ball game.
Yeah, they were eyelash. They were eyelash away. Wilson at the line, free throw up and no good. Courtney Lewis high for the rebound. 28-24, Maroons.
As an official, I always try to be, as impartial as I can be. Brewster for 3. Didn't take him long to find a shot coming off the bench.
DeVilder with the ball.
Well, boy, this game's getting a little crazy now. 3-on-2 for the Panthers. Ramos, Polite.
Couldn't finish. DeVilder with the board.
That ball's partially blocked or not.
Wilson outside. DeVilder,
Nice
big rebound
by DeVilder.
Saves it,
and a
flips
nice
it behind his back.
Man.
Coach Dexter says, hey, let's set something up.
Somebody set this thing up. 28-24. Moline leads. 3:35 to go in the third quarter. Tenacious defense, and right now,
both ends of the floor.
Out of control offense. Oh, my.
Travis Wilson. Great body control. Turn around, put that up.
That's right. He's trying to take his quarter on all by himself, looks like.
Puts the Maroons up by 6.
Boy, the Panthers made a nice run there. Had a chance on a block charge call out front to maybe tie a ball game up. And now with 3 minutes to go in the quarter, Moline's extended that lead back to 6 points. Ramos for 3. There it is. Nick Ramos, assist from Polite. That's half that lead.
Second 3 of the night. Panthers still with the pressure. DeViller dribbles his way through. Ball's on the floor.
Hustle. Crawford kept that ball alive. Ramos controls. Oh my, long 3 by Crawford. Long pass.
Long pass ahead to Wilson.
U.T. did not get back. It hurts real bad, Coach, when you miss a 3 and then don't get back on defense either. That's a 5-point swing in a hurry.
Wilson's third bucket of the quarter.
Panthers spreading that floor. Brewster with the ball.
5-point Maroon lead.
Nice play by Lewis. Can't get it to fall.
Tip
Crawford
up,
kept it alive.
DeViller, boy, DeViller's been the man on the boards this quarter for the Maroons.
Nice pass. He didn't travel that time. That left foot stayed right where it was at. Of course, it wasn't a very good move either, so somebody's got to find that handle. Did somebody grease up that basketball at half? What did we do with that basketball at halftime?
Well, I don't know. They shrunk the rims down or something.
I know one thing. The two coaches are going through misery right now.
One thing has remained constant in this whole game, Coach, and that's been the defensive pressure.
Crawford, bank shot, does not go. Ramos on the offensive board. Panthers keep the ball. You're right, Coach. That defense is just solid. Both ends. Not many open shots tonight.
The only wide open shots have been those 40-foot 3 shots, 3-point shots.
Well, Anders started out getting several real easy shots. UT made some adjustments defensively, and he hasn't seen the ball much lately.
Polite down low. Got DeVilder on his back, looks like.
And did a nice job that time, Polite, of getting DeVilder on his hip, and he couldn't get off.
That'll be DeVilder's second team foul of the half here on the Maroons. Both teams have two team fouls.
Taylor reports in, replacing Crawford. Cody Duran checks in.
Ted Terrell in for Dorian Brewster. Earl for the Maroons.
That's getting down towards the end of the quarter now, Coach. 56 seconds to go. Moline leads by 5. UT inbounds. Again, we mentioned this earlier, but it's so impressive how Moline is doing a job of identifying the UT shooters. Some guys are getting guarded real close, and some guys are getting any shot they want.
DeVilder, another rebound. Reach-in foul. Looks like a Ramos.
Well, right now, I think Coach Olson is, if he's disappointed, he can't be defensively. I think it's shot selection right now. We're not getting the kind of shots that we'd like to get in a ball game this close.
Plus, they're not going down.
And they're not going down. He'd be a lot more excited if those shots were in.
Yeah, if you're taking those kind of shots and you're hitting the half of them.
Well, right now, Moline is having trouble finding Anders a shot, and UT is having trouble finding Polite shots. And those are the two big guns out of the first half. So both teams did a nice adjustment at the halftime.
On the drive, drops it down for Terrell. Couldn't handle it.
Another turnover. 12 seconds to go. UT going for the last shot. Lewis. Polite on the turnaround. Off the rim. Oh, they got the shot off, but it won't go. Well, at the end of 3 quarters, we have the score of the Moline Maroons, 32. And the Panthers, United Township, 27. 5-point lead going to the 4th quarter for Moline.
Well, they played even up that quarter, Coach. 9 points apiece. Panthers made a little run at him, threatened to tie it up. couple, like you called it, a couple of block charge calls there, swung the tide back to the Maroons, and momentum kind of stalled out for the Panthers, and Maroons didn't really gain the momentum back, but it was played pretty even the rest of the quarter.
Well, that was a time when UT could have made some nice run. They got to within 2. Right out in front of us here, we had the charging call. I felt was a good call. Come right back with the play underneath the basket down here. Ended up being a potential 3-point play when Wilson puts the ball in the hole. Again, a block call against UT. Either one of those go the other way gives UT 1 or 2 more possessions in that quarter.
I'm saying Travis Wilson was the big man for the Maroons there that quarter. He had 6 of the 9 points, and Nick Ramos had 5 of the 9 points for the Panthers. So not a whole lot of scoring.
Well, here we go, fourth quarter, Coach. The Panthers come out with Duran, Fagerlund, Taylor, Polite, and Ramos.
And for the Maroons, we got Wilson, Terrell, Malcolm, Anders, and Whitaker. DeVilder. Not Whitaker. Excuse me.
It's okay. We're a long way from the floor. Panthers, again, good ball movement, but boy, when that ball gets to somebody that's a shooter, Moline is there.
Right. Tough defense by the Maroons.
Ramos on the drive. Need that one to fall, and it does. Nick Ramos, 32-29 Moline. Zone pressure by the Panthers. Oh, might have got away with a walk.
Terrell to Wilson, he finishes.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, Wilson will finish. There's no question about that.
He's a good finisher. He's not afraid to go to the hole.
That's right.
5-point lead for the Maroons.
Oh, tough pass there. Durant saves it, though. UT needs to set up. Taylor. Well, they got Anders playing on Taylor there. Ramos off the rim. Fagerlund tried to rebound. Might have got. He moved a little bit while he was in the air that time, Coach.
Nick DeViller with another rebound for the Maroons. He brings it up. On the dribble over to Malcolm on the wing.
We'll see if Moline develops a little more patience now, Coach. This can make a big difference in this ball game.
There's DeViller.
Great play by
Ramos on the floor with
There's got to be a foul. There's got to be a foul on Moline.
Wilson puts a headlock on him. Gets called for a foul for his trouble.
Well, you know, this year that's one of the rules that as officials, we talked about that quite a bit. And so far, you know, a lot of times you figure a loose ball on the floor, anybody's ball, kind of like a fumble in football, and that's not necessarily true. Huh? You know, you can't foul somebody to get to that ball, and in that particular case, Wilson did that. What? That's his 3rd foul, huh? We'll see if the Panthers, a little out of sync that time. Fagerlund broke across the lane.
DeVilder on the baseline, tough shot.
That is a real hard shot.
Quick with the rebound, just couldn't quite handle it. Here comes subs in. Dorian Earl coming back in for the Maroons.
UT brings in Jeremy Corum for Duran, and Courtney Lewis comes in for Ben Fagerlund.
Earl averaging 6.4 on the season. Only got 2 tonight. Low scoring contest here. Defense is telling.
34-29. Which one of us mentioned a ball game in the 60s?
Well, if we add the scores together, we're going to get to the 60s. Is that what you were talking about?
Maybe that was it. I was confused, but I wasn't quite sure I was that confused.
60 was coming up somewhere. Woo. Sean Taylor,
won't
no good.
Drop. Corum on a big rebound. Mr. Hustle.
Tough D.
Now, coaches, the Panther, there's a good play. Get the ball in there. Foul. Right now, one thing that's happened to UT is that they're really not looking for shots anymore. They're passing.
Nick DeViller picks up his 3rd. Going to put Polite on the line here. Shoot a pair.
There haven't been many fouls, but I think Moline has got, Wilson with 3 and DeVilder with 3. So a little bit of foul trouble with 5 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter.
Polite. Kind of a ball game, no, I don't think you want to take those guys out
Not now. Polite rolls one in. Panthers trail by 4. Moline 34, UT 30. (34-31). Panthers again drawing back. Slowly but surely.
Hustling defense
Great
by the
pressure
Panthers.
by UT. Moline used the timeout real wisely.
Probably a good timeout for the Maroons there. That was a... Both teams have plenty of timeouts left.
Yes, they do.
It's going to come down to that.
And you know what? They'll all get used.
Probably will.
They'll all get
5:31
used.
remain here. 3-point lead for the Maroons. They'll inbounds the ball.
I'll tell you right now, UT has picked up the tempo defensively, full court here, and really making it difficult on Moline. They're trapping, and it looks like Moline prefer to dribble through that, and that's not going to work very
You start
often.
to dribble as soon as you turn your back, you're going to have a guy in your face coming over from the backside. Well, so they'll start passing the ball over the top probably then, and
and then some good things can happen, some bad things could happen also. But I think the key is that Moline's in a situation probably similar to what they were last week, where teams are starting to turn the pressure up, and last week they didn't get that job done. This week we'll see. 5 minutes 31 seconds to go. We'll see what a week of practice can do.
I was going to say, and they haven't gone through it once already.
But one thing about it, UT's got decent quickness, but after playing against Rock Island, you've probably seen the best, and now you're going to see the rest.
Malcolm picks up his dribble over to Wilson. He brings it across the timeline. Back to Malcolm.
Boy, the pressure by UT is intense right now. Corum out there on defense. Crowd's going to get into it right now, Coach. Been kind of quiet, but everybody's in it right this minute.
Cheerleaders got the Moline crowd going. Being patient on the offense. Double high post. Earl.
Yeah, nice play.
Ramos is pointing to UT's way. He thought it went off Wilson. The ref didn't see it that way. Nick Ramos having a great defensive game tonight.
Making those long, flat passes. UT's got an opportunity to run in front of some of those. Great
Wilson
anticipation.
on the dribble. To Earl. Off to
Builder,
DeVilder.
turnaround three off the board.
Good positioning down there by Ramos. Panthers.
Head to Taylor inside. Nice defense by Moline that time. Good idea though. UT at least that time was looking to the basket.
Brought the ball up quickly.
Yep. Running the floor.
Good hustle back there by, I think that was Wilson broke that.
Real good hustle over there by Jim Unrath, athletic director of United Township High School.
He always has had great hands.
He was on that. You notice when he made that pass, he kind of turned those fingers underneath.
Got those thumbs. Got those thumbs in there. Yeah.
He has basketball coaching experience. You know, of course, you knew that. Panthers down by 3. 4 minutes, 28 seconds to go. Moline Maroons.
Every possession an important one now.
Real important right now. Got to find great shots. And I'll tell you, with these two defenses, where are they? And I think that's UT is going to, as the season progresses, holding foul there.
Panthers got 4 seniors on the floor right now, I noticed. And Maroons have 3 seniors and 2 juniors. DeVilder picks up another. That'd be his fourth.
Yeah. Now we're talking about foul trouble. Now you may have to sit him down. But here again, let him play. He's a smart player. Lewis.
Nice dish.
UT is in the lane. UT is in the lane. UT had several guys that time in there looking to rebound.
Comes Terrell in.
And there never was a shot.
DeVilder's going to sit with his 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Ted Terrell into the game for him.
Well, make a note of that with 4:02. DeVilder has been a spark throughout the course of this ball game for Moline. Polite for 3 out of the corner. And this ball game is tied. 3 minutes, 53 seconds to go.
Huge basket.
Woo! There's the guy you want shooting the ball.
Wilson brings it up across the timeline. Double team.
Oh, good
Big
hustle
hit.
by Corum.
Corum's going to pick up a foul here.
That's about as hard as Malcolm's been hit all year, Coach, I think.
Well, in basketball anyway. He's a tough kid, though. He's a good football player. Jeremy Corum picks up his 4th. Malcolm's up off the floor. He's all right.
He's okay. He's just used to having a little more equipment on when he takes those big hits.
I'm sure he's feeling it, but.
Yep. Now Moline. Coach, there's a couple turnovers there potentially right in a row.
Potential turnovers. The refs didn't see him that way. Though double high post. Here's Earl. Down pick from Anders. Wilson off the dribble. Over to Malcolm. Down low to Earl. Kicks it out to Wilson at the free throw line. Puts it up.
Oh, great job, though. Moline got the shot they wanted.
Executed offense that time.
Beautiful execution of that offensive pattern. They're going to go fist now. We'll see what that is for the Panthers. Okay, going to set it up. Moline's not going to pressure out there, so they're just going to take a look what's going to happen. We can slow this thing down. We're looking at a delay here, Coach. Oh, nice play. Looking to get Polite a shot. They'll run. Delayed until you get Polite the ball. Everything's set up, I think, to get
trying to get Polite on the weak side by himself, looks like. Maroons aren't having it, though. They're playing tough defense on him.
Lewis, jump shot, in and out. Tough on the board. Moline controls. UT got a good shot.
Malcolm Ramos runs up his back, picks up a foul. That's only his second for the kind of defensive game he's played. He's got 2 second-half fouls, and that'll be 15 foul on the Panthers.
Well, the game I saw him play early in the year was against Sherrard, and I mean his quickness was just amazing. And to get 11 steals against Galesburg, I would guess, we haven't kept track of that. I was going to, and I apologize for that, but he has to have 5 or 6 tonight at least.
Here's Malcolm on the dribble against Corum. Gets it across the timeline.
Crawford's back in the ball game, replaced Sean Taylor for UT.
Earl on the wing, back to Malcolm, back to Earl. He walks.
No question about that.
He was going to take the shot and decided to put it on the floor and couldn't do both at the same time. Still tied here, 2 minutes, 16 seconds, 34-34. Panthers bringing it up. Maroons with some pressure, token pressure.
T brings that ball across. We'll see if they set it up again. Going to change the play now. Going to change the pattern. Corum doing a nice job handling the ball. Malcolm playing great defense. Nice pass. Count it.
Crawford to Polite.
Crawford on the assist to Polite.
Mike Crawford, nice pass.
Got great penetration. Uh-oh, look
Here
out.
comes a cheap one on the other end.
Ramos
against
foul.
Wilson. Ramos up high for the block. Got part of Wilson's arm. He goes down. He's all right. The fans react, but that's...
Fans want an intentional foul, but there's
nothing
no
dirty
way that
about
was
that.
Intentional. Nope. No way. He almost blocked the shot.
You can say both players were way above the rim on that one.
Yes, they were.
Wilson will go to line with a chance to tie the game here at 1:41.
He has not done very well at the free throw line so far.
Well, he misses that first one. And we got a timeout to the Panthers.
Whoa. Hey, let's take a break. My heart can't take this.
I was going to say, we'll be right back with the score, 36-34, Panthers in the lead. Well, welcome back to the Panther Den. Jim Smith along with Jim Sanders here. We got a barn burner coming down to the wire. 1:41 remains here in the ball game. Panthers take probably their first lead of the game at 36-34. But we got Travis Wilson of the Maroons on the line shooting a pair of free throws. He's already missed the first one. He's got one more here. Can pull within one. He eyes the basket. And he gets that one down. 36-35. Maroons pick up full court now.
Panthers showing some patience here, doing a nice job. Long pass. Look for Crawford. Wide open. Oh, a foul.
Good ball movement by the Panthers
job
there.
Corum to Lewis to
Sees Crawford streaking down. Andy Malcolm picks up the foul. That'll be the 6th-team foul. Both teams are going to the bonus now, which could loom large here at the end of the game.
But 1:30 to go, but a lot of basketball to be played yet. Panthers lead by 1. Crawford trying to extend that lead. I think Moline wanted a timeout, but didn't get a call before that free throw.
He gets the first one.
Gets the call now.
And the Maroons call a timeout. Well, he iced Wilson there, Coach Dexter says, well, we're going to ice Crawford.
We're going to try to do that, yeah.
Well, Coach, what's it going to take to win this ball game now? I think the 1-on-1s are going to come into play.
Now, I'll tell you what, as I just kind of analyzed the last maybe 3 or 4 minutes of this ball game here, UT has done a much better job of taking the ball to the basket. Up until the last 3 minutes of this game, pass. Only one guy was going to take that ball to the basket, and that was going to be Polite.
Right.
The last couple times down there, they've taken the ball to the basket. They got Crawford a decent shot here against the press. UT is attacking the basket. I mentioned that in the pregame. That's something we thought that UT needed to do. And I think if UT is going to win the ball game, they need to continue to do that.
Well, from the Maroon standpoint, they're going to have to continue to work their offense and get the good shots. I mean, it's only a 2-point game as it stands right now, with Crawford with a chance to put them up by 3.
Well,
but with a minute 30 seconds to go, I mean, that's a lifetime.
And Moline is going to have to make some free throws. I mean, if they're going to win a ball game, they're going to have to be more than one for.
As we already mentioned, both teams going to be in the bonus here on the next foul. So Crawford with his second ball gets all the way to the floor before Hurl picks it up.
3 Moline guys were down there.
There's some good screen in there, good boxing out. Malcolm on the dribble against Corum. On the wing to Wilson.
Man to man, they wanted to get the ball back inside, but Polite's doing a nice job.
Anders.
You got Anders a long way from the basket right now. It's not where he made it those shots earlier.
18-footer, in and out.
Oh, nice rebound by Corum. And got to be a foul.
And we're going to get a timeout called from the Panthers. Jeremy Corum.
Man.
A pretty heads-up call there. Well, we're playing a 30-second burst here now. We got exactly 1 minute remains. 37-35. Panthers with the lead and the ball. They're going to have an inbounds play here. I'm sure the Maroons are going to pick them up full court.
I'm sure of that. Lots of pressure. I know one thing.
What, do you put them on the line, Coach? Do you foul here?
I don't think Moline
not intentionally, but the try to steal the ball.
I think there's plenty of time. The pressure that Moline was able to put on that time is plenty enough. UT is going to have to make several passes down here. It gets down to maybe 30 seconds. Then you got to start thinking about a foul. But I don't, of course, I'm not the coach of either one of these teams. But I don't think right now on an inbounds play you need to foul with a minute to go.
Right.
Not with the pressure that Moline can put on.
And it hasn't come into play all night tonight, but the possession arrow does point to Moline's end, so that might come into play.
Right. Well, our producer, Jess Medina, and of course our cameraman, John Medina, doing a great job. Jess knows how to schedule these games, doesn't he? Last week we had Brian Mumma and I were over watching Alleman and their big upset win at Quincy. Tonight he picks this ball game here at the Panther Den. Couldn't be a better ball game.
Here we go, back to action. Polite inbound. Maroons picking up, full court trying to trap.
Oh, look at this.
Get the ball ahead to Ramos.
Loose. Ball will not go.
Gets his own rebound.
Ball's
loose on the floor.
And a jump ball. And there's that possession arrow.
There's that possession arrow.
48 seconds to go, Coach. UT by 2.
I don't know who was down there bothering Ramos on that shot, but he did a good job of not fouling him and bothering him enough to I think it was either Earl or Anders.
Moline timeout. Well, that's here again, we watched that last play in the lane, that scrambling there. I mean, you've got 2 teams here. It's Western Big Six basketball. We shouldn't expect anything other than that. But I mean, there were, almost every player on both teams was in the middle of that pile up there somewhere.
Looking for that ball. Not afraid to get on the floor and go after. That's the kind of basketball you come to expect in this conference.
Well, for UT's point of view, at least coming off the game last week with Galesburg, far fewer turnovers against at least as good a pressure, I would think.
Right.
Not having seen the game last week, but I'm sure the pressure was very similar. UT's handled the ball well, protected it well. The ball's not going in the basket very often tonight for either team, but that doesn't make it any less exciting for the fans. The UT student section still standing and cheering. This last 48 seconds, there'll be a lot of people standing up and cheering.
I was going to say there's a lot of basketball left here, folks. Don't go away.
Well, that time, UT did a nice job, did what we kind of talked about. They broke that press, got a good shot. Ramos had a nice shot. Boy, UT's down there after him now. Defensively, We'll see what happens. Moline gets the ball inbounds.
Anders looking to give it up. They're going to let him bring it up.
Bring it across. Here comes Crawford on a steal.
Crawford
U.T.
takes
on
his
a
pocket.
steal. Mike Crawford for the Panthers. Now Moline's got to think about fouling. Who do you foul?
30 seconds. 2-point lead for the Panthers. Polite with the ball.
Oh, quick hands.
Wilson reaches in. He thinks he got it clean. The ref doesn't see it that way. Travis Wilson picks up his 4th foul. That's going to put Mark Polite on the line with a 1-and-1. Well, here's Mark Polite, 1-and-1. Big shot right here.
And it's good. Panthers by 3.
He'll get a second.
See what strategies the coaches work here. A lot of times after a made free throw here, the Panthers might call timeout. Ball's good.
Polite gets them both.
Defense. Why give Moline a chance? Panthers playing great defense. Whoa, Moline
Coach
uses
Dixer calls that timeout. Is that Moline's last timeout, Coach?
I think so. I'm trying to get a look over there at the scorer's table just to double check that.
Well, they're down by 4, 27 seconds to go. You got to come down and get a quick basket right now. You got to run some kind of a quick pattern, get somebody a pretty good look at the basket. And don't worry about the 3 right now. Just get a 2-pointer in.
And the Panthers, on the other hand, good strategies, a lot of different things to be talking about in that huddle over there. Coach Olson has always been a real good game kind of a coach. We're allowed to see the Panthers. They've been able to play that pressure defense full court without fouling. They've done that all night. Make Moline use 6 or 7 seconds to get that ball down there.
I'm sure they're going to try to slow the ball up as much as they can with some kind of pressure.
And Moline,
pick them up 3/4 maybe instead of the full court and make them pass the ball back and forth a couple times.
The Panthers
we'll
are
see
down
what they do here.
Same defense they've been in.
Man to man.
All over the place.
Schomburg, Joey Schomburg in the game. Malcolm in the corner, eyes it, puts it up, no good. Rebound, battle.
We got a foul.
We got a push. On.
Got a foul on. Ooh, who's that foul going to be on?
I don't see who the foul's on.
I haven't either.
The ref pointed into the pack.
44, Coach, I think. 44.
I believe they called it on Nick DeVilder. It could have been on any number of guys down in there on the rebound. That'll be Nick's 5th foul. And Nick leaves the game with scoring 8 points on 1 basket and a pair of 3s. Courtney Lewis is going to go to the line for the Panthers, looking for his first points of the night. Wow. Shooting a 1-and-1 with 16 seconds left.
Yeah, big. If he get one of these 2, it'd be huge.
Well, they'll have to get that first one.
That's right. Nice rotation. That ball's dead center perfect. Courtney Lewis, 6'4", junior, comes off the bench for Ben Fagerlund. Has done a great job.
5-point lead for the Panthers now. Again,
now you
16
talk about
seconds
2
remain
to tie if he can sink this one.
In and out, wouldn't go. Rebound, Maroons.
Moline's got to hurry.
Malcolm quickly up the floor. She puts up a long 3 off the rim, wouldn't go.
Oh,
Mike
Panthers
Crawford
got
with the
ball,
rebound.
7 seconds.
Corum up to Polite. No more shots needed. He puts it up.
2. Panthers are going to win it. Panthers win 42-35 here at the Panther Den over the Moline Maroons. What a ball game.
What an exciting finish. The last 2 minutes and 30 seconds told the tale here tonight, Coach. The Panthers took the lead, got ahead, and wouldn't give it back.
Yeah. You know, UT didn't lead long, and they didn't lead much, but they hung around. And I think maybe that's the key. Moline made a couple runs, and the Panthers are always within 5, 6, 7 points. Never got down too far, and when it got right down to the end, we've talked about it from the start to finish tonight. Great defense. At the end, the Panthers played great defense.
Doing some quick stat work here for the Panthers. We'll jump over to the Maroons side of the ball here.
I'll tell you, just while you're figuring up the stats, Coach, I think one of the things that's going to jump right out at you was free throw shooting. My calculations are right. Moline probably finished something like 1 for 5 from the free throw line.
1 for 5, and that was Travis Wilson shot all the free throws and made 1 out of 5.
And late in the game there, the Panthers were 7 for 9. They had a couple late ones there. We'll check that one out.
6 out of 8 in the fourth quarter for the Panthers.
Right. So free throw shooting was a big factor in this ball game.
Well, let's run down that scoring very quickly here. For the Panthers, leading the way again, their go-to guy, and great floor game, hit the boards pretty good, played good defense. Mark Polite, 24 points, 10 in the first half, 14 in the second half, 11 of them in the fourth quarter when they needed to have that.
That goes with his 23-point game last week. 23.5 points per game in Western Big Six after 2 weeks.
He's fouled up Nick Ramos, a pair of threes, a pair of 2-point baskets for 10 points. Mike Crawford, great floor game, great hustling defense, 4 points. Sean Taylor hit a basket and a free throw for 3 points, and Courtney Lewis hit a real big free throw there at the end of the game for his 1 point. Looking at the other side of the ledger here for the Maroons, they were led by Travis Wilson, who scored 11 points, 9 of them in the second half, and I already mentioned his free throws. He made the free throw for the Maroons tonight. Nick DeViller left the game with 5 fouls and 8 points. Pete Anders finished the game with 9 points, all scored in the first quarter. He got him off to a great start. Andy Malcolm with 3, Dorian Earl with 2, and Ted Terrell coming in with a second quarter bucket for his 2 points. So that rounds out the scoring. Again, the final score, United Township High School Panthers 42, the Moline Maroons 35, and another tightly contested, well-played Western Big Six basketball game.
Yeah, it was, Coach. And I think one of the keys to the ball game there was talked real early about Anders inside play in that first quarter, and he was getting the ball in there way too easy. Whatever adjustments, Coach Olson made, and/or whether the kids just started playing the defense the way he wanted them to play it, pretty soon the shots he was getting, he never got them again. He had to move farther away from the basket. He got to where he was facing the basket most of the time instead of with his back to the basket, and that made a world of difference in the ball.
He had several other good looks at the basket, but instead of shooting from the 8-foot range, he was shooting from the 15 to 18-foot range, and the shots weren't going down. It was a game of mini runs and slight momentum swings. There wasn't any huge momentum swings. Both crowds got into the game here a little bit tonight at different times, and it's a big win for the Panthers and a tough one to take for the Maroons. That puts the Panthers at 1-1 in the conference, and the Maroons drop to 0-2.
Well, I'll tell you, this is just the beginning of the excitement here in the Western Big Six basketball. So to our fans out there, we appreciate you turning the games on Cox Communication Channel 38, Family Ties Productions. We appreciate it, and we say many, many times, if you got any comments about what you're seeing here, why, stay in touch, because we want to give you, we're trying to feature the positives of high school athletics, and a game like this tonight and the game we had last week are as positive as you're going to get.
Well said, Coach. Well, that about wraps it up here from the Panther Den. This is Jim Smith, along with Jim Sanders, saying so long, everybody. We'll see you next time on Family Ties Productions. Hi again, everybody. Jim Smith down here on courtside with winning basketball coach Scott Olson here for the Panthers. What a great win for you tonight, Coach.
It was a big one for us. We needed a little confidence builder. Moline's had our number last year, and it was a pretty slow game in the beginning, but we kind of designed it that way and hoped that we made the right decision. But it was a big one for us. Jim
Sanders and I up there doing the broadcast tonight commented on the defensive pressure from both teams. I thought both teams playing great defense, and both teams getting good shots, but the defense was definitely a factor tonight.
I thought definitely, the intensity level was high, especially in the second half. I thought Moline turned it up. I thought our kids made some good decisions, and we executed under pressure, which we didn't do against Galesburg, and that's a learning experience for us. But we made some big plays, guys that are real scrappers. Jeremy Corum, a tremendous rebound in there, and Mike Crawford, of course, a nice back tap steal for us. But those things are big plays.
Big play. And Nick Ramos' play tonight. I don't know how many steals are tonight or times he had his hands on the ball, but you know, that kind of play that you're getting out of your kids, Coach, says a lot for the way you've got them playing. They're believing in your system, and you're heading the right direction now, I think.
Yes, I don't know if there's any better man-to-man defender right now than Nick Ramos at the perimeter position. He does a tremendous job. He had 11 steals last week in one game. He had 8, and he just gets his hands on the ball. Does a tremendous defensive job, and he had some good shots for us. But you know, with that effort, I think that spurred us on. I mean, he was on the floor a lot in the second half, and that just kind of inspired the rest of the team to play hard.
Well, and Mark Polite again responds with 24 points tonight. We had him 4, and you just kind of come to expect those games from Mark, but he plays more than just the scoring position for you. I know he does.
Definitely. I thought he didn't play as well as he could have defensively in the first half. He made some adjustments, and I think offensively he got doubled and tripled a little bit sometimes, and he should have been making some better decisions. But he understands what he is to this team, and he's an inspirational leader for us, and he is a leader, and he plays hard, and you know, a Grant Hill type of player for us, and he has to do that. And he took the role, and he definitely put it on his shoulders and said, we're going to come out of here with a win.
And you did that, Coach.
Yeah, it was. I know there's a lot of questionings going on. We didn't take the lead until late in the fourth quarter, but the kids really did what they had to do to win the basketball game. Moline, I thought, played a very good basketball game.
Well, you know, they did play well, and hats off to the Maroons for a well-played game. You got the lead when you needed to get it, and you held on to it, and credit to your kids. Made free throws down the stretch. Moline was 1 for 5 from the line on the night, and that told the tale too. So any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No, it was a big one. We got another game tomorrow, and of course it'll be televised already, so you know the effects. But we got one tomorrow against Sterling, and that's a big one for us. If we can come out with 2, that'd be great, and because we need that going into Quincy. That's a long bus trip.
It's a long bus trip. Well, Coach, you got them to 1-1. It's the best you can be right now in the conference. So good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks very much.
Jim Smith with Scott Olson here, wrapping it up at courtside for Family Ties Productions.
Okay, we're back, and it's 4th down, and this is Clips now getting ready to hold for Kinsey Homebrecker, and this would be about a 44-yard field goal for Homebrecker. He's got the leg, and it's up, and it's far enough, and it is no good.
Looks like it stayed a little wide left, Coach, and that's a tough thing for a left-footed kicker on the left hash. Because remember, in high school here, the hash marks are outside the uprights.
Yep.
In the NFL, the hash marks are dead even with the upright.
Right.
So if you hook it at all, you got the break. But here in high school, the hash you really have to come across for being a left-footed kicker. So great effort, great leg. Just a key stop for Bettendorf's defense at that time, and they needed it here.
Sure was.
Now they have 5 minutes to get into field goal range, and you know, we've seen them do it in the past. And plus, Seth Holmes is a senior quarterback. Really a big time for Bettendorf, and we said it when we covered against PV. This is a game-winning drive for them.
You
right
better
here.
believe it. Okay, 1st and 10. Bettendorf in the shotgun. This is Holmes. Takes the snap. And a little bit of pressure, and there's wide open in the middle. Wide open in the middle, TJ, was Justin Siefkin on the crossing pattern.
It really is, and West got in straight man coverage, and they had 9 men in the box, and when Bettendorf sends out 4 receivers, it's very tough to cover all 4, especially when we only have 3 defensive backs. That means someone has coverage with a linebacker, and they exploited that right there across the middle.
All right, here we go again. The double flanker of Bettendorf, shotgun formation. A lot of time to throw here. Here's Collins putting a little pressure on, and nice defensive play over there by Sean Duncan. Very nice.
Great play by Duncan. And what West is doing, they're lining up Sean Duncan on one tight end, which was Siefkin there, and they're lining, I believe it's Kilby, number 33, the outside linebacker, up on another tight end. And Duncan really just made a nice play.
Yes, he did.
What happened, Bettendorf, Siefkin ran it down and in about 12 yards, and Seth Holmes had to scramble, so it took it all the way out to the boundary, and Duncan stayed with his coverage the whole time, really did a nice job, almost made an interception.
2nd and 10, ball on the 45 of Bettendorf. Holmes in the shotgun. Here comes the option play to the outside, and excellent hit. Jason Collins put the smash job on Holmes, and I'll tell you what, little slow getting up out there. Not only did Collins blast Holmes, he also blasted his own man. Irwin was in the way of that, too.
Well, I tell you what, that's a huge hit by Collins. And we talked about he's a big play guy. And,
yes, he is.
And West needs him right now more than ever.
All right, shotgun, 3rd and 8. Holmes drops back. Here's the play, and incomplete, thrown long, intended for number 88, Bettendorf. That is Siefkin, I believe, yes.
And I think we have someone down here for Bettendorf, Coach, and I don't want to speculate, but it might be Ryan Herrig, but I'm not quite sure. I don't want to scare his parents.
Well, one thing about it, we're not live.
That's right. That's right. But Seth Holmes, it's very tough from any quarterback standpoint. We know he's a very good player. But when you're drifting backwards, getting off that back foot, it's very tough to make an accurate throw. And I think you saw that was one of the few times he didn't throw a spiral tonight.
That's right. That was kind of fluttery, the wounded duck, as they say.
It really was, and that's a direct relationship to his fundamentals. He needs to just get his back foot set, step up. If there's pressure coming directly at him, he's got to shuffle one way or another in the pocket so he can set his feet and make a nice throw.
Okay, that was Ryan Herrig, and he's up and he's fine. He's coming on. He'll be in the next play. He's a tough kid.
It looks like it might have been a stinger there, Coach.
Yep, a little bit of a little shaking his arm off there a little bit. Okay, 4th and 8.
This is the game for the Bulldogs here.
And Bettendorf is going to go for this from their own 47-yard line. Here's the shotgun. Holmes in the shotgun. Throws it over the middle.
I think we got
another flag, and that's probably going to be in the area of the hold.
It really was, and I think, unfortunately for Seth Holmes, he's feeling the pressure. The West has put pressure on him all night, hit him a couple clean shots all night, and I really just think he's feeling the pressure because he's not setting his feet. He's not taking a firm 5 steps out of the shotgun, setting his feet and shuffling. Right. He's drifting, and it's going to cost his throw, and that's the second wobbler and high throw we've seen in a row.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to second guess Bettendorf here just a little bit. I'll tell you what, there's 4:20 on this clock, and I'm not sure a 4th and 8 from their own territory. I'm not sure that was the right thing to do. And you know, obviously it's easy to say from here, but I got to say that.
Yeah, I agree. And you know more about that than I do because you've had to make those decisions before. I haven't. The only thing I would combat that with in defensive coach Hobnick is that West's offensive line is playing very good football.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Here's Clay to the left side, and a nice play. Nice defensive play there.
Oh, great play by the front and Bettendorf. And you can call any one of 4 or 5 names there because they're all in it. Weston Kiznick was in on the play.
Mike French, that's the one I was trying to look at, number 50. Mike French, a junior linebacker.
And outstanding play by the Bettendorf defensive front, and they really need this right now. And we talked, we'd like to see the play clocks because this is when it comes key for a quarterback. We call it the 4-minute offense when you're trying to kill the clock.
That's right.
And you can literally waste 35, 45, 50 seconds at this time if you're not able to run the ball or run the clock all the way down.
Right. Ziegler, I formation, gives to Clay up the middle on the little ISO play, and he'll pick up about 3, maybe 4.
And that's a nice job by Clay. We saw him in the first week of the season against Assumption, running late with the ball, running hard. They were up 10-7, and he put it on the turf.
That's right.
And gave Assumption a chance to come back.
That's right.
Nice job by Clay. He's a second, third, fourth effort guy. This time he gave the second effort and hit the deck.
Clamps on the ball.
Exactly.
That's right.
A nice job of knowing where you're at, and a nice job of learning and being coachable.
He's learning.
But once again, there's a key stop for Bettendorf. They have West 3rd and 8 with the clock stopped here, so they feasibly could get the ball back. With about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, and Seth Holmes needs to look in the mirror a little bit here, because if he gets the ball back, he can't worry about the West rush.
That's right.
He's got to step up in the pocket. He's got to grip it and rip it, and show that he's a senior, firm, tough leader that he is. Because if he throws off that back foot like he just did, they're better off running the option, I think.
I agree. All right. 3rd and 8 now. We'll see what Coach Flynn's crew comes up with over there.
Well, Coach, in these situations, I try to give a nice flash of the hands. Let's go in the long count, try to get a gimme 5. That way we can run a little play action on 3rd and 2. And in worst case scenario, the good thing about play action in this situation, if the quarterback understands the clock keeps running, he can sit on the ball.
Exactly.
Whether it be a -2, -3 yard gain, he can still just take a seat, sit on the ball, and keep the clock running.
Exactly right. All right, wing formation, split backs here. Ziegler, 3rd and 8. Here's the give to Clay around the right side. He turns it up, and he'll get the ball down to about the 40-yard line, and that'll be short of the first down, but that'll bring up a 4th and about 4. And now we got Bettendorf calling the timeout, and I think on this timeout, TJ, we'll take a little break.
All righty.
Okay, 4th down, TJ, 4th and about 4.
And
Homebrecker's back, going to punt.
Well, I would say we've talked about Homebrecker being a great player tonight. He needs to come up big here for the Falcons.
And Herrig, I believe, on the reception down there at about the 15, and he'll run it back to about the 20. And Bettendorf will take over on the 22-yard line, we'll call it, with 3:16 to go. And we got a barn burner here, I think. 24-23 West.
I agree. Coach, going back to that last punt, being a coach, what's the theory on just not kicking the ball straight out of bounds there?
Well, I think maybe he might have been told to do that, just didn't get it there. I don't know.
That might be true.
Maybe they figure they can cover everything. All right. Bettendorf really spread out here, and they're going to put the ball up, and it's incomplete. And I'll tell you what, there's pretty good defensive play there by number 21 from West, Adam Smith. I thought that ball was caught.
Oh, I did too. And then Eric Jensen did a nice job of making a great catch. And as you said, Adam Smith made a nice play of not quitting on the play and fighting it all the way.
Just knocking the ball down.
Yeah, exactly. And stopping Jessen from retaining control.
Right. And we're going to have a holding penalty here, maybe. I don't know what else that would be.
Coach, the one thing about that play, though, is I would like to see Seth Holmes hit the underneath players. You know West is going to be back in a prevent. And even if you do have one-on-one on the outside, I understand throwing it up and let's, try to get a pass interference call or even get the big catch, as you almost saw Jessen come up with. But I still like to throw it 4 or 5 yards, let the guys run 10 or 12, because in prevent, there's really no one there to make the tackle once you get it over the defensive linemen's heads.
All right, Holmes in the gun. Here's the throw, and it's going to be picked off or not? No. Duncan right there, and I'll tell you what, that ball was intended for Eisenhower, and he did a heck of a job keeping the pick.
He did, and we talked about he's an exciting player, and he just showed that he's a heads-up player there as well, because that ball was picked by very good safety in Sean Duncan, and that would have been a big pick for Sean to get a little revenge from the first touchdown he gave up early in the game. Eisenhower did a great job of breaking that play up, and once again, we see the ball going long, and I just...
That's right.
2 weeks ago against Pleasant Valley, they used the flats, they used the play action, and did a great job. Now they're trying to throw the ball downfield, and I don't know if I really understand that.
Okay, 2nd and over 20. Holmes is back, being pursued, gets the ball off, and it's thrown way short. McAleese was in the area for for the Falcons, but the ball was thrown way short.
It really was, and I think he was just trying to throw the ball away, which is a good, smart decision. Now you're stuck with a very 3rd and long, 3rd and 24. But I think one thing, Coach, we talked about it in the second quarter about West offensive line coming to play. You're seeing it right now because now the West pass rush is still active.
That's right.
And they're still going after the quarterback, forcing throwaways in the 4th quarter. Where 2 weeks ago we saw Pleasant Valley just didn't have anything left in the tank, so Holmes could sit back there all day, step into his throws and rip it. West isn't letting him do that. Consequently, the throws aren't being as accurate as we're used to seeing from Seth Holmes.
Exactly right. Holmes back to throw, and he gets the ball off, and Eisenhower, and there's a flag on the play, and I think we're going to get a
It might be an offensive pass interference, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know which side, O or D.
It looked like Eisenhower just took him and threw him down and went after the ball. And I love that in a receiver, that he's that tenacious. And I'll throw it to him every time if he's going to fight for me that hard. And I'll overcome the penalty sooner or later.
You're right. And he did call that. He did call that against Bettendorf, I believe. Yeah, offensive pass interference, and that's going to be loss of down, plus it'll be half the distance to the goal line, will it not?
Yeah, I think they're looking at a 4th and forever here.
Yeah, that's a big penalty.
That is a big penalty, and if you're West, let them catch it, but nothing over the top.
That's right.
And I've been on some teams, Coach, and coaches laughing, and it gets coaches fired. But when they mean bomb alert or when they mean get deep,
that's right.
Some guys don't take that literally, and I've seen all-pro players get beat deep on bomb alert. So it happens, but it can't happen for West here, and you're hoping it's happened. You hope for the pass interference call if you're Bettendorf.
Yeah.
So this is one of the few times if you're Seth Holmes you might want to throw it into coverage.
Yeah.
Because you hope for a PI call here.
Okay, Holmes in the gun. He's standing in his own end zone and throws it up. And Eisenhower, the intended receiver, and it's overthrown, and that's going to be a first down for the Falcons down on the Bettendorf 5-yard line.
And we said it about the West defensive line, and that's all defensive front rushing the passer there. That's O.J. Payne. He just threw the guard and center away and went right at the quarterback.
I'll tell you what.
Outstanding job.
Excuse me, Rue. I want to mention Mark Akala, too. I saw him put some pressure on Holmes a while ago.
And we talked that you credit offensive line, and this is why it's a team game. The offense kept the defense off the field in the 2nd and 3rd quarter. It came to a key situation in the game. West defense had enough in the tank, especially their front 4, and really went after the passer.
That's right.
And that, to me, their offensive line deserves game ball, and as well as Kenzie Homebreckler, because you know West defense is going to show up every week.
Well, I'll tell you what. West has not won this game yet. There's 2:26 on the clock. Clay down to about, and he scores. It didn't look like he got in, but he scored.
We talked about that offensive line, and that looked like a big scrum, but that was a 5-yard push.
That's right.
And, you have to credit West's offensive line. They're doing a great job. And,
they sure are.
And Bettendorf just seems like a beat team right now, and it's too bad because Coach Hobnick's team will fight you, and they'll fight you and fight you. They just didn't have enough good things happen to them tonight.
That's right. That's right. Well, now they're West leads now 30-23 with 2:19 on the clock, and I'm sure they'll kick this ball, giving them the 8-point lead, and so Bettendorf would have to score the touch plus the 2-point conversion just to tie. So,
Coach, I might need a lobotomy for this one. I don't know if I want to score there. I don't know if I want to score there.
And this extra point's blocked.
And the whole reason being is because Bettendorf only has 1 timeout left, and you can kneel on the ball and kill the game.
That's right.
And whether you win by 1 or win by 100, I don't know if. Now you can't fault the kid's effort.
No.
Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if scoring is the best thing for the Falcons there.
No.
Now they have to kick the ball to Bettendorf, who can tie the game and possibly win it with a 2-point conversion.
Well, here's a situation where, as a coach, you say, well, I hope we didn't score too quickly.
Exactly.
And that's what you're talking about.
And that's an oxymoron, but obviously, and that's why I was talking in a finished type tone, because I didn't think West would get in the end zone. I thought they were just going to kill the ball inside the 5. They end up scoring. Now all it takes is a big return back to the 40 or so, which we haven't seen tonight, but this is high school football. Anything can happen, and it's a game.
That's right.
I've shifted into second gear. I'm excited again.
Well, I'll tell you what, right here will be a little test for Kenzie Homebrecker. Now, you got the wind behind him. Is he going to try to get an extra? This is like trying to hit a drive.
Right.
You're on the tee. You got driver in hand.
Right.
The guy in front of you just hit a 290. Now you're going to try to hit a 295.
Yep.
And don't screw it up.
That's exactly right. This goes back to baseball, where you got Ken Griffey Jr. and Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
Trying to take every pitch out of the yard, which I understand that. And another thing, Homebrecker has been on the field a lot tonight.
Yeah,
He's kicked the heck out of it, so there might be
has.
some fatigue on his part, too.
All right, here's the kick. And he gets into it pretty good. And nope. The impetus of the ball took it in the end zone. Therefore, there they go, back to the 20-yard line.
And we've talked about that weapon, repeatedly tonight, and he's had a great game tonight. And those are the type of things you need on special teams when you're on the road, especially here at Bettendorf's home place. I mean, they're outstanding here, and for Kenzie Homebrecker to come up big like he did tonight, I don't know if Coach Flynn gives him or not, but he sure needs a game ball.
Yeah. That's got to be a very frustrating thing to the deep returners for Bettendorf. That's all there is to it. All right, Holmes up in the I formation. Under center. Little play action here. Scrambles out of the pocket, and he's got a little room. He's got a lot of room. Here he comes to the left side, and he's going to be brought down at the 45-yard line.
We talked about a play, Coach, getting out to the 40-yard line, and we have a game of it, and I think you just saw it right there. And how about Seth Holmes? He looked like he was really frustrated and really just a beaten quarterback 3 plays ago. Yep. And he's still coming out and fighting you now.
Oh, yeah.
But he still needs to step into the pocket and throw the football here now that they get back in the shotgun.
You betcha. All right, Holmes, 1st and 10 at the 45, shotgun formation. Here's the throw, and there's the receiver wide open, and that's Siefken again over the middle, and that brings the ball down to about the west 35-yard line, and they're on the move, the Bulldogs.
They are, and Seth Holmes pulling to Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde act on us. He stepped in, he planted his back foot, threw a nice spiral there for a huge gain down to the west 35.
1:50 on the clock, shotgun formation. Here's Holmes back, a lot of time to throw, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete, I believe. It looked like
it was incomplete there, Coach. Yeah. I didn't see what happened to the ball exactly. The referee just waved it off, but that was an in route by the Bettendorf tight end, and Holmes stepped into that one, tried to throw it maybe a little late. Nice play by Sean Duncan, West free safety.
Now we got a timeout called by West with 1:42 on the clock. It's 2nd and 10. So let's see what happens here, and we'll take just a little quick break. Okay, 2nd and 10, TJ. Ball's on the 35 of West.
And the Bettendorf crowd's in it. We haven't really heard from them all night, but they're in it now.
Holmes in the gun again. Back to throw, a lot of time, and he throws it long. And Eisenlauer was the intended receiver, and I'll tell you what, down there, Ian Haas was a defender. And Eisenlauer, again, did a good job of keeping that ball from being picked.
Oh, he really did. And Ian Haas had that ball in his hands. And what I'm sure Coach Blocker, the defensive back, Coach West, is going to tell him, go up for the football. Go up for the football. If you try to catch it on your feet, a good player like Eisenlauer will break that up every time.
3rd and 10. Snap back. A lot of time. And Eisenlauer with the reception, got some room to run, and he gets down to the 20. That's going to be a 1st down, and their defender fell down, TJ. I couldn't see who it was, but
I couldn't either, Coach. And we talked, Eisenlauer's an exciting player.
Yes, he is.
And I like the fact Seth Holmes is stepping in the pocket, really setting his back foot and throwing the ball. And the West defensive pass rush just isn't there. I don't know if they felt they had won the game already or not, but they're really not rushing the passer with the same intensity.
Here's Holmes back again. Here's the throw. Eisenlauer for the touchdown!
Great play. Great play.
No, that's not Eisenlauer. I'm sorry. That's Siefken, isn't it? Yeah, Justin Siefken in the corner.
And that's, I can't help but think that's the curl and the out and up. I didn't quite see the route. I've got a little beam here in my face, but nice job by Seth Holmes. He had all the time in the world to throw and really planted his foot. And I think a telltale sign for Seth Holmes is that if he steps and throws a football, it's a nice spiral on target. If he falls backwards, he's going to struggle a little bit, and he surely didn't struggle that last drive. Did a nice job, and we talk. Coach Hopnick's team will fight you to the end, and then they just showed a prime example of it there.
Oh, all right. And we're going for the tie here. Langen back to kick. This is Holmes, the holder. It's 30-29, 1:15, and Bettendorf is going to take time to talk it over. And do you suppose, PJ, they're going to talk about going for 2 or not?
Well, I don't know. I think you've been struggling all night, and you've got the momentum. The crowd's into it. I think the West defense is back on their heels a little bit. Kick it, and let's live for overtime.
OT. I agree with you.
At home. If you're on the road, let's go after it. But if you especially because Bettendorf, they're one of the few schools in the MAC that plays here right at their school.
That's right.
And this is truly a home environment. So I say kick it and let's live for OT.
Kick it and let's go some more.
That's right. I don't know, Coach, you, I guess, anticipating this being a short game tonight, I think you want them to go for 2. But we got started a little late, and now we might go into overtime.
Yeah, well, it's... Well, I don't know. You just get going, you get talking about things, and the time flies, and all of a sudden, Jess, our cameraman, says, "I thought you said this was a short game." And
that's funny. The Coach Rob jinx, and I think I might have jinxed the Falcons a little bit just by talking a little finalistic tone I had earlier. Assuming they were just going to kneel in the ball, and they end up scoring. And how often do you see that in football? That a score hurts you, especially a touchdown?
I agree. Here's Langen. And the kick is up and good. And it's a tie ball game, Rube. 40-30.
Oh, outstanding football game. And this is exciting football. And it's not over yet in regulation.
No.
Remember that the West has had some good returns tonight. They've gotten to the outside. And Sean Sigler has shown that, especially against Assumption early in the year, that he can move his team down. I don't know with 1:15 left. I believe they have 2 timeouts left. I'm not quite sure. But outstanding game. And I agree with the call to kick it. And a nice job by Langen just to grip it and rip it. He didn't try to pooch that through.
That's right.
He drilled it and kicked it just as if it were a 40-yard field goal. So
with
you have to
authority,
credit him. Exactly, especially into that wind, which has gotten a little bit steeper and a little bit tougher as the night's gone on.
You bet. Well, there's 1:15 on the clock. Langen will be kicking into I'll tell you, there's pretty good breeze blowing here. The flags are blowing straight out and straight at Bettendorf.
Hey, I think that's a good time to squib it. You know, it might be because this breeze has really picked up, and from the west side, you know, if something good happens to you early, let's try to get a field goal here. And I wouldn't mind seeing that screen pass come back that got called back with a holding call that was a touchdown. That might be a good play early, especially if Bettendorf thinks you're going to run the ball early. But it's all predicated here on where West gets the field position.
Exactly right.
If they get it from the 30-plus, they'll probably go for it. If they don't, they'll probably just live for overtime.
Well, again, remember we talked about did they score too fast down there with 4:20 on the clock, and anyhow, here's the kick by Langen. It's a high kick. This is Sean Duncan underneath, and he's got a little room in the middle, and he'll bring it back to about the 30-yard line. Pretty good coverage by the Bettendorf specialty teams.
Well, Coach, I would say, you know, if you're Bettendorf on offense because you have a senior quarterback, you go for it here. But but I don't know, because if you're West, you have a junior quarterback with 2 junior backs and a sophomore tight end with another junior and another sophomore tight end, and the only really veteran is your wide receiver.
That's right.
Which has made a great play tonight, nonetheless, in the middle screen. But needless to say, it'll be an interesting call here. I say if something happens good to you early in this first sequence of downs, go ahead and take a shot at it.
You bet. All right, 1st and 10 on the 30, 1:08 in the game, 30-30 tie. Here's Ziegler giving the fake a gift to Clay and hits Alan Sweet out there on about the 40, and Alan couldn't find a handle on it. I believe that was Alan Sweet.
It was Alan, and he had a 10-yard gain waiting for him. It looked like between he and Brad Ryan, whether he got too deep or Brad Ryan was too short, they were both in the same curl hole there. And it's a nice job by Sean Sigler of deciphering that and figuring it all out and putting a nice catchable ball on Sweet's chest. It's too bad Sweet just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, he did. It was a very nicely thrown ball. 2nd 10, 1:03.
Boy, Bettendorf can't go to sleep here because all it takes is a missed tackle.
That's right.
West is in a field goal range. Remember, Homebreckler can kick it from, well, especially with the wind, we don't know how far.
That's a fact. And there's Sigler fumbles a snap from center, picks it up, and is still able to give it to Clay, and Clay's going to go ahead and pick up about 5 on it.
That might be an omen, Coach. If you're bobbling the ball there, you have your botched route and you bobble the ball 2 plays in a row. Well, I don't know. You might just want to burn it and live for overtime, but I'm not quite sure here. But then again, you know, you're looking at 3rd and 5. You surely don't want to punt it back to Bettendorf, get punt formation. We've seen West with the safety, which looms incredibly large at this point.
That's true.
We've seen West snap the ball over the punter's head as well. So, you know, it's a tough call here.
Sure is. All right, 25 seconds and running. Here's the give to Clay off the right side. No room. And great defensive play by Ryan McGivern, the big defensive end, the senior defensive end for Bettendorf. Nice play, and that's going to be 4th and 4 now. And I'm sure West will probably let this clock run out and take chances in overtime.
I agree, and they won the coin flip to begin with, the coin toss, so they might think that they can win another one, get the ball first, and set the tempo. Needless to say, if you're Coach Flynn and you're talking to the Falcons right now, you have to have a talk with the offensive line and
That's
your defensive line. Defense, look, I know you were out there a long time, the last 4 minutes, because of the incompletions and everything, but you need to step it up a level, just like you did in the second and third quarter and early part of the fourth quarter. And you tell your offensive line, if you're Coach Flynn, get off the ball and start dominating, because this might go 2 or 3 overtimes, and we need you for the whole thing.
That's right.
And if you're Coach Hobnick, look, we have momentum. Let's keep it going. Our fans on our feet. That we're here at home. Good things will happen to us at home. So just keep fighting, and if you work hard, good things happen to you.
Yep.
And I think basically his kids are starting to believe now when at one point they looked like they were beat.
Yeah, you've been saying you brought it back this far. Let's take it the rest of the way.
Exactly.
All right. We're going to talk about the overtime when we come back, but right now we're going to take a little break. Okay, TJ, what we got now, we got an overtime situation in this ball game, and officials have gathered the captains at midfield for the coin toss, and the winner of the toss will either be able to take the ball or play defense or pick the end of the field. Now, normally in my coaching days, in this situation, we had overtime and we wanted to flip. I wanted to play defense because I wanted to know how many points I had to score.
I agree, and not to mention, you want to know exactly whether it be 3, 7,
that's right,
or even 8 you might need to get. So I agree with you there. And another thing too, if you play defense and stop them, you send your kicker on and you kick the field goal and get out of here. You know,
that's right.
And now that seems really easy. My senior year, and I hate to be a way back when type guy, but my senior year, we have a kicker. It was first game of the year, and our kicker was perfect. The year before, in extra points. Well, we stop Rock Island. We go out. He misses it. We end up getting beaten 4 overtime. So there is no logic here. It's just you give yourself the best chance to win, and Coach Flynn and Coach Hobnick both will try to do that for their given teams.
That's right. Well, we've been in some overtimes throughout the years, and I think this is really a fun thing. They changed this rule several years ago. There's no ties in football now. Somebody's got to win the game, and I think it was a great rule change.
Oh, I agree.
And even in the college ranks and the pro ranks, you know, it filtered. This is a rule that filtered up.
Exactly. A tie is a dirty word.
That's right.
You play it.
That's a beat your sister game.
Exactly. Well, not to mention, if it comes down to the end of the year, don't leave it to an administrator to determine your playoff fate. Let's put it on the field. You know, Coach, I didn't see who won the toss there, did you? I got gabbing too much.
I think West did and picked defense. So Bettendorf will have the ball on our right side, the right end of the field here to us. So it's going to be first down. There's no chains or anything. It's just first and goal. And they'll have 4 downs to put whatever points they can on the board, and then West will have their turn.
They sure will. And Bettendorf's had a tough time running the ball inside tonight. They need to go back to their outside off-tackle game in order to have success running the ball. Now, we know they can throw it against West a little bit, but I think they're going to have to run the ball in this overtime session to be successful.
All right, Holmes breaks him out. He's under center, I formation. First and goal in the overtime. First overtime. Here's the give to Tissue. He's got room, and he's going to score on the first play of the game, TJ.
And that's exactly what we talked about. They went to their power eye off-tackle game, and it looks like a sweep, but it's really an off-tackle play that the tight end hooks the outside linebacker, and the fullback makes a great block, and the tailback Tissue just kicks it out, gets it into the end zone. And we talked, that's one weakness of West defense, and West hadn't seen that because Bettendorf had been behind.
That's right.
They've been throwing the football. Came back. It's an even game at 0-0. Bettendorf gets back into their game plan, runs a power off tackle, and gets up 36-30 here in the first overtime, first play. Which no big deal for West. They just try to block the point PAT here and amount of drive of your own.
All right, Langen looked like a perfect kick, and it is. So score is now 37-30, and we're in the first overtime of this game, and now West will have its chance to score, and obviously they've got to score 7 points to stay in the game, or 8 points to win, or it goes to another OT.
Exactly, and then Coach, going back to Coach Hopnick's decision, scoring the tying touchdown, whether to go for 2 or 1, I think he tried to capitalize on the momentum he's got going. We're looking around at U.T.H.S. Stadium, and the fans are on their feet, and they're excited, and they're behind their team, and the guys are starting to believe, and I think overtime favors Bettendorf a little bit at this point, like we said, because it's a home field advantage, and it is a tough place to play here.
You bet.
That 14-point advantage that we view their home field advantage is coming out at this point.
Okay, West High, first down of 4. Ziegler gives to Clay off the right side, and there's a great defensive play right there by number 29, I believe, from Bettendorf.
That's Sean Smith, Coach.
Sean Smith from his linebacker position.
He really did a nice job, and what happened there is West went on a first down, and I don't think the left guard got off in time to make the cutoff block.
Right.
And really, Sean Smith stuffed the play to begin with.
Sure
so now
did.
West sits with a 2nd and 12, and really just has to regroup and methodically work into the end zone. The good thing is they know it's 4-down territory, so from offensive coordinator standpoint, it changed your play calling a little bit.
That's right. All right, 2nd and 12. Split backs. There's the throw. Receiver's wide open out there, and he'll be down at the 3-yard line, and I think I didn't see who that was out there, TJ. Is it number?
I think it was Ben Raymond.
Yep, you're right.
You got your senior in the ball game at the time, and you want to make him have a big play for you. But West better get their cadence adjusted there, because that's 2 times in a row that not all 11 are moving off the ball at the same time.
That's right.
And it's a good thing they didn't get a flag there, because it looked awfully suspicious.
The tight end was really off the football on the left side. I don't know who it was that time, but we'll give him credit for just getting off the ball. 3rd and 3 here. Here's the give on the power eye to Clay, and he is smoked under at about the 3-yard line, no gain, and that's going to bring up, TJ, 4th and 3.
Needless to say, a huge play for West, and I don't know if Clay could have stayed behind O.J. Payne, the big fullback in that situation, and just kept his pads low and ride the wave. Tried to make something happen, bounce it outside. Usually in the goal line, there's nothing doing out there.
That's right.
But, needless to say, West's going to take a timeout here and think over this key 4th and 3 play.
Well, they'll want to make sure as they go over to Coach Flynn that they get the play that he wants to run, or the offensive coordinator wants to run, and also the snap count. They want to get everything safe. This is it.
Exactly.
You got to score here, or you lose the game 37-30.
Exactly, and basically for the West, from West standpoint, and any other school that's out there in the MAC, they do this every week in their goal line scrimmage. One last play to win. We all simulate this, and now it's just practice coming to the game field.
That's right.
So that's the attitude you have to have on the West sideline. Now Bettendorf sideline, because in practice, more times than not, offense does score.
That's right.
Now in the game, it's a different story, and Bettendorf has to step up to that. And once again, these are the type of plays where your home field advantage really comes into play. So not only does West have 3 yards to fight uphill, but they also got to fight the entire Tovell Stadium with the Bettendorf fans on their feet making a lot of noise. So it definitely is a hostile environment.
Oh, it truly is right now. All right, 4th and goal. Tovell Stadium, 37-30.
Well, Coach, when I was playing, I hear the trumpets in my ear here because I want to be 10 foot tall and bulletproof on this play.
Power I formation, and this is Clay, and he's not going to make it. And that's the ball game. Bettendorf's going to win it 37-30.
Oh, Coach,
in overtime.
Yeah, outstanding job, and really the Bettendorf dominated the first quarter in a very similar game to Pleasant Valley's game, where they came back and really stole the game in the 4th quarter. And when I mean steal, they did a nice job of continuing to fight. You know, they weren't outmatched at all, but they did a nice job of continuing to fight and really never gave up hope, and really had a lot of faith in Coach Hopnick's game plan and stuck to it, and came away with a huge win here. And what a disheartening loss for the Falcons.
It surely is. It really is. That's I feel bad for Paul Flynn and the Falcons, but on the other hand, Bettendorf, a gallant effort coming back from first of all the 17-14 they were down, and then they went ahead, and then West goes ahead, and then they go ahead again and come back and win this game, showing a lot of poise. And again, Seth Holmes stepped his game up tonight.
And he really did, and we talked about Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It looked like with about 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, on down to about 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, he really wasn't in the game. game and felt the West pressure up front too much and throwing off his back foot, and really wasn't the Seth Holmes we're used to seeing as an all-conference player. And then with 2 minutes to go in the game, how about stepping in the pocket, gripping it and ripping it, and not even paying attention to the West defensive rush at all, and really marched his team downfield and really made it an outstanding drive. And like we talked about, I hate to use the word steal in a bad sense, but they really came out of this win with a lot of intestinal fortitude fighting. And we talked, this second half for Bettendorf might be their catapult to the rest of the season.
That's true. That might have brought them right around. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap it up. Bettendorf wins a thriller here at Tuvell Stadium tonight, 37-30 over Davenport West in overtime. And we'll sign it off now for Jess Medina, our cameraman and producer, and TJ Rubley. We want to thank you for all your great commentary. This is Cy Robinson, and we'll see you next time.